thought it'd be a good time to tell a story about how I met my wife. So I was born on a beautiful fall day. It was September, and it was in the 80s. And I was, not a well-off boy, but my parents, they made me adult and everything. So I survived that. But as soon as I got money and a car, I went out searching for her. And I searched every day for years, like all through my late teens and 20s. And then I almost got to my 30s, but I was like 27, I think I finally met my wife. I searched hard. We went every different place that she might have been at. I took her to go to the Hamilton College because it was close to me. I grew up in the hills of Vernon Center, and going to Hamilton College, I was like, there's a lot of girls there, and I'm like, one of these girls might be my wife. But you just don't know when you're looking. You're like, what am I looking for? I'm like, she's a girl. She's not like my mom. What else am I looking for in a woman, I wanted a smart one. That was important. That was very important. I had she was smart, and she was kind. Being beautiful, that definitely helped. That helped lure me in. So I would go to Hamilton College. I went a million times, but it was local. It's close. And it was like, I was drawn there like a bug to a light, and I didn't know why. And I found out later, my wife had actually worked there for a year. And the one building I didn't go in was the building she worked at. I went into every single building. I went into half the rooms. I would just I would follow college kids. I was working at a factory, and I was following college kids into there, just followed along. They'd leave a door, but I'd walk in and look around. I'm like, any of you guys know who my wife is? I'm like, what's she look like? But I don't know. I haven't met her yet. And I would use that line when I was taking it. I'm like, have you guys seen my wife? I'd randomly say that, and I did not know what I know now. Oh, man. It could have saved me some time. Some time and effort. I had more time to love my wife more. Then later, I was drawn to Cazenovia. It was amazing. The summer before I met my wife, I was drawn to Cazenovia. I did not know Cazenovia. It was a distance. It was like a 45-minute drive. But I would take my dog, and we would go swimming at Cazenovia Lake and walk all over town every day after work. Or no, I was still working the third shift, so I'd walk all around. I'd see all the interesting buildings. And I was just drawn out there, and I had no idea why. I just kept going out there regularly, and I'd swim in the thing. The next year, I met my wife, and she lived in Cazenovia. It was one of those interesting things where I was randomly drawn to where she was at a couple different times. I could have met her. How many trucks are going by today? What are you guys building? Darn trucks. Oh, I never finished telling that story. I took and had to stop and go for the bus. I'd like to point out my prom king crown. A photo of me with the Ultimate Warrior. Bart Simpson. This Kaboom box. And photos of my dad. Very interesting. And a painting I did in 7th grade or something. But the point of my story was, I had a couple other girls I tried to do stuff with. Testing the water, seeing what I liked and what I didn't like. Hoping that I'd find somebody I would enjoy. And those didn't work out so well. And then whatever happened, I didn't drink till I was 25. After I started drinking when I was 25, about 6 months later, I lost my virginity. Then I started dating a girl. It wasn't going where I was hoping for, and so I stopped dating her. And then I looked on plentyoffish.com, and I found my. So in 4 days, I looked through thousands and thousands of profiles, and I looked at every different. It's funny, I'm looking. The camera's over here, but my face is over there. If I'm trying to look at my face, I don't know. I don't know what the best way to do this is. But so I looked through thousands of profiles, talked to hundreds and hundreds of women, and I kept finding ones I was like, and the ones that, and other ones were the same way with me, and I'd understand, I'm not everybody's taste. Yeah, most people can't stand me, but the good humor in that. But what is the thing there? I hope you could hear me over the dryer. I didn't even think about that. That thing is roaring, just roaring away. Doing laundry, things you do for your wife. I also need clean clothes, and so does my son. So stuff I do for the whole household, I should say. It's mostly my clothes too. So, oh yeah, so I went Plenty of Fish in 4 days. Just being on there for 4 days, I had met my wife. And I I saw this little profile photo of her, just like this big. It was like cropped. All you could see was her little face and her poofy hair. And I was like, oh my god, she was pretty good looking to me. That face is all I need. And then we went, and our first date was out in Hamilton. And I was like, oh, she's a nice girl. She seems, so she's pretty well educated, like grandmaster degree and all that kind of stuff, and worked at a college and all those kind of things. So that was definitely a thing that my mom didn't have. Which was like a woman with any form of logic or ability to think on their own. And that's a good thing to have, like you don't have to worry about her because she's self-sufficient. She can normally, if a plumbing thing breaks, she'll freak out, but how do I hold this with the other hand? Maybe she can rest. Yeah, then we went on a bunch of other dates, and that was how I met my wife. She wasn't afraid to take control of situations. I was not that good at, lying to women and all those kind of things. Being charming, any of those kind of things that I'm not good at. And she took it, she looked past all those. She looked past my terrible first impression technique I have, and she liked me for me, and I could complain, And we took, and now we have this nice house. We have like the best kid ever. If you've ever had a kid, they fail in comparison to my son because he's the best. He's so bright, he's so sweet, and I enjoy him so much, and that's why I see him so much in my videos. All right, I think that's how I met that's the story of how I met my wife. Hello, everyone. I thought today I'd tell a very interesting story. I thought it was something. Let me not look off. I'm going to look right at the camera this time. I'm not going to be. Damn it! A big giant truck is coming. I gotta edit out. Damn it! And a truck coming. This is off to a great start. Oh. All right. I thought I would. My gosh, is it too busy out here? I'm waiting for the school bus right now. Distracted. There's U-Haul going by. Where was I on it? This is going to be editing. Oh yeah, so I was yelling at the truck. Before that, I was talking about Cazenovia. But yeah, so I had a couple... what was the thing? My